What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are doing the 28th installment of Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing my Gemini Jets 1-400 scale Alaska Airlines Boeing 727-100 with the Prospector tail. Hope everybody had a fantastic Independence Day for all of my American viewers, as it has just passed. Video going out on Wednesday, July 5th, and I'm recording this a little less than 2 months in advance, because that's just been the mojo with all the retro reviews, since they're pretty easy to put together. So I got this model back in 2018, and I did have this in an unboxing video. For some of my longtime viewers, you may remember that unboxing. Admittedly, there's been quite a few of them, so it may be hard to remember specific ones, so I can totally understand that if so. Let's go ahead and move the model out of the way, and we'll take a look at the box itself. So we've got our standard Gemini Jets details, made for collectors by collectors, image of the plane, and there's our Alaska Airlines logo, the old one at that, and then the Boeing 727-100, 1-400 scale die-cast model aircraft. There's the plastic cradle inside, and then here is the pamphlet on the underneath the flap. You can pause this to read. And then we'll take a look at the bottom of the box. You can see their normal advertising stuff. Then we have Gemini Jets, image of the plane, Boeing 727-100. Item number on this is GJASA165, and considering that this model was released in 2009, I'm guessing they probably made this really early on, but they never got it released until much later. Adult collectible model stuff up here, and then the right side same as the left. And then on the back, as you can see, 2009 on there, and the Boeing license disclaimer and Alaska license disclaimer, so this is officially licensed from both Boeing and Alaska. So now let's take a look at this wonderful little model here. This was my first 727 that I got, and for a while this was my only 727, but thankfully I've since grown that 727 fleet to be a little bit more larger, I guess, for lack of a better term. So now I've got plenty of 727s from varying carriers all around the US. So we're going to start off at the front here, where we'll take a look at the black nose, and we've got the cockpit windows, which do have the eyebrow windows on them. Got the nose gear door with a little fleet number there for 314, and then the nose gear. We have the L1 door, and also the cheat lines. It's like a red, and then there's a gold one up on top. Then we have the Alaska titles in a sans serif font, and then we have a couple overwing exits right there. And then we move to the back where we have the engines, November 314 Alpha Sierra is the registration on this, and then we have the Alaska titles along with our tail, which this one is the Prospector. Now, if you were paying attention to the flap, I'll go ahead and show that again just for reference. They did have a couple of different tails at the time, so you can see them right here. So we have the Prospector one, then we have the Eskimo one, and I forget what this one is called, and also that one there as well. They had a couple different tails at the time before the Eskimo became the sort of the official tail for Alaska and has become part of their brand identity that we have today. Overall, very lovely tail here, and I like the gold and like the reddish colors on here. It looks really nice. Then we have the other side of the aircraft. We have no door right here. We actually have it just ahead of the wings, like right next to it. Move that down a little bit so you can see that better. Luggage door right there, and then there's another one right there. And then you can see the tail details and everything. APU exhaust, all the good stuff that we like to see on a 727. Flip the model underneath, we've got the Gemini Jets logo and stand hole. No major printed details under here, although the landing gear doors, I think those are molded in. They're sort of graved in there. I'm forgetting the word for, you know, like the metal stuff when you have to put the lines in there and not draw them on there. I'm forgetting the word right now. I'm having a bit of a brain fart here. Here's the top of the aircraft with the overwing exit markings. And there is a beacon right there, a little red dot. All the good stuff here. Now the metal has tarnished a little bit from what I can tell. I think like right around here in that area, it looks like the metal has tarnished. I don't remember if it was like that when I got it, but if it wasn't, it certainly has done that over time. And it's not a major problem for me as it's a really small part of the model, so I can't complain too much, especially since I did get this off of, I believe it was Amazon. I don't remember how much it was for, but I think these older Alaska aircraft, they are worth something now on the secondhand market, and there's quite a few that have yet to be made. I think maybe Dragon Wings of the MD-80s, and I think Gemini did all the 727 tails. There's also stuff like the Convair 880 with the Golden Nugget livery. That's a really old livery that Alaska had back at the start of the jet age. And also the 727-100s, they did wear that livery as well. So I'd love to have that in my collection because I think that's a really nice livery. All the good stuff right there. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at the real-life aircraft's history. Now, this does date back quite a bit, as this aircraft first flew on December 6th of 1965. That makes it one of the oldest aircraft in terms of real-life age on the series. And the fighter jets are out again. That's lovely. But the aircraft was delivered later that same month to Pan Am. It had the registration of November 314 Papa Alpha. And then in August of 1975, Alaska got it, and they just swapped out the Papa Alpha with Alpha Sierra. Then it was transferred to Atlantic, I don't know how you say that last word, 10 years after that, in January of 1985. It kept the registration that it had with Alaska. Speaking of which, it did go back to them later on in the year, and it flew with Alaska for the rest of her life, another 8 years or so before she was stored in 1993, but unfortunately scrapped around 1995 or so. So aircraft is no longer with us, but it still lives on in model form. And that will do it for this episode of Retro Reviews. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.